Nerd or Not is brought to you by D12 Games. D12Games.com.
I'm an audio operator. If I hear someone say drop the mic, I say don't drop the mic or you don't have to answer to me.
So everybody, I want to welcome you to the first episode of Nerd or Not, brought to you by D12 Games. I am Jay. I guess I'm the host. I don't really know.
You're the host and you'll like it.
Okay, I'm the host and I like it. I am going to be upfront and honest with you. I am the sponsor of this show, as I am also the owner of D12 Games, and I am going to throw all of my copious dollars behind the success of this show, which is to say, zero. So,
fuck this. I'm out of here then.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I'm out of here. He's literally walking away. He threw down He rage quit the headphones.
I'm going to go take the money that I do have and go to my bedroom and drink away the rest of this podcast. I've had it. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, that was Corey, by the way.
That was Corey, and this is Bob. Bob, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing wonderful. Oh, you coming back, Corey? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have any booze left.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's one reason. I would describe myself as I'm a diehard Trekkie. I'm a huge college football fan, and I have 602 now of the 719 Pokemon.
Wow.
I'm trying to catch them all.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
That's incredible.
But it's not good enough, Bob.
I know. I'm trying.
You're 117 away from me being proud of you.
You sound like my father.
So the idea of the show is it's hopefully not going to be too long of a show, and I don't know how often we're going to do it. We'll see how this first one goes, but the idea is we're going to talk to you about a few topics. We're going to ask a couple of questions, have a general discussion point, and then we're going to go home. That's pretty much how it's going to work. We are in two completely separate states. For those of you that don't know us, we grew up together. We've been friends for over 2 decades now, which is
25 years now,
terrifying. I believe. So first thing we're going to talk about today is today's Nintendo Direct, and I was lucky enough to catch probably about the last 20 minutes of it.
I missed this, so I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
Of it.
So this is awesome. I look forward to you guys exploding. So first off, this is our first Nintendo Direct since the passing of Iwata-san.
Oh,
right.
And
shit! I'm not gonna. Am I gonna need hankies?
Well, it's now hosted by Reggie, so you're at least going to need a vomit bag.
Be fair. Reggie's cool.
Reggie's a dick.
Okay, obviously we're at different ends of this discussion already.
We have opinions about the Reginator.
Yes.
I
His
don't
stupid
strangely
name shows up all the fucking time in my goddamn games on the 3DS. I hate him.
That's true. He is pretty intrusive, or at least his me counterpart is.
He's the head of Nintendo of America.
Is that what he's? I've not had him show up in any of my 3DS activity yet, so I don't really know if that's the voice that he comes at you with.
Oh, it is. Our first bit of news out of the Nintendo Direct, and if this isn't the signal of the ending of the Wii U console, sadly, much like at the end of the GameCube when the Wii was about to come out, Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD will be launching on March 4th, 2016.
Wait. Legend of Zelda.
Yep.
What was it? Twilight Princess
HD?
Yes. It is
Did people ask for this?
No.
No, they did it just because of all the drama that I had to go through 2 years ago with some shankster on eBay and trying to get my own copy for the GameCube.
Wait, okay.
They knew.
I want to just real quick before we go.
Get in there before the salt gates open. It's okay.
Twilight Princess. Okay, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I can understand HD remakes of those. They were popular games, and they were on what is now, I'm guessing, 3-generation-old consoles.
Yep.
And people were asking for that. I remember people begging for Majora's Mask HD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall anybody ever asking for Twilight Princess.
I was when I was trying to get a very hard to find copy of it.
An HD remake?
Just any version.
Oh, any version
at all? To be
all?
honest with you, yeah, one that I wouldn't have to shell out like 80 large for in one go. But it was the GameCube version that was like the build version, right?
Oh, that's right. That's
because it was all right-hand oriented, or it was all left-hand oriented,
and the Wii was right-handed,
and they had to flip it, right?
Yeah.
I think we can all agree, Twilight Princess HD, kind of a curious decision.
Uh-huh.
But it's a nice gap to, or a nice bridge to gap between where we are right now with no new Zelda games in ages for the consoles to Zelda Wii U, which comes out next year. So this is a stopgap measure because people were expecting Zelda Wii U to come out in 2015. As such, Nintendo is adding amiibo support to Twilight Princess HD.
Ooh.
And there is going to be a Wolf Link amiibo that has Midna riding him, which is kind of cool.
Okay. I might get that because the image I haven't seen. Did they show what it looked like?
They did. It looks really awesome.
If it's exactly what I'm picturing it, I wouldn't mind having that just for the decoration alone.
The image that I'm getting of such an amiibo is one that wouldn't look out of place on a person's fairy statue shelf.
No, it's better than that. I'm gonna send you guys over the image in Skype chat so you can take a look at it.
Let's
see here.
Let's see that plastic magic happen.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking sweet, to be honest with you. I'm actually kind of impressed by that. It's one of the amiibos.
That's actually pretty much what I was picturing.
Is that the same size of regular amiibos?
Don't know yet. Don't know.
Okay. That does look nice. I love the. Wow, that does look really nice.
It does. I could have a couple of Claire Crafts next to it. Maybe some snow babies.
Oh yeah, snow baby.
We know what snow babies are. Yes.
And then one of the other things is those amiibo. Some amiibo data from Twilight Princess will be convertible to Legend of Zelda for Wii U when that comes out. So, be prepped for that. So you're gonna be able to transfer saves.
Any of it retro applicable? Like Wind Waker or
I doubt it.
Something else? No?
I would be shocked. They didn't say anything about it, but
Wind Waker came out even before the whole amiibo storm occurred.
Yeah,
because they had a Toon Link, couldn't even use it with it. Yeah. That's true.
So for those of us with Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, there's going to be a free update with Den of Trials with 30 new areas and new items coming out on December 2nd.
And that is who of us?
None of us.
None of us. Right. That's cool. I hear it's good. It's supposed to be Dynasty Warriors, and that's something I was never able to jump into.
Yeah, they are putting in
head first with any of my appendages.
It is kind of cool that they're putting in the female Link into the game, which is kind of neat.
So now we know how it'll be with a female Link.
Sure.
The age-old question answered. But what if Zelda was a girl?
I've seen cosplay before.
We're also getting a new Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon coming out on...
Oh, wait. You had me at Pokemon, then you lost me at Mystery Dungeon.
Go ahead. I'll let you
fair,
take this.
This is a Super Mystery Dungeon.
Super Mystery, excuse me.
You can become 20 different Pokemon, and you'll encounter all 720 of them.
I'll ask you this. Is Hawlucha one of them?
I don't know, because I don't give a shit.
Pass.
Next up, new content for Splatoon.
I did have a question, and it's a shitty one-liner, but are we ever going to get a Pokemon progressively mystery dungeon?
This joke kill was brought to you by Corey.
Please move along, please. Just let me die in shame.
All right, so,
die with dignity.
Launching today and some more stuff tomorrow, we are getting new stages and equipment for Splatoon. And they have confirmed that updates and support will continue through at least January. I'd be shocked if it didn't keep going.
January, as if that's a long time away.
I tell you what, for Nintendo and keeping support for a software whose interactivity with online is supposed to be central, I think that is a long time.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. Because they killed Wario DIY, and I'm going to stop myself before I get on a rant about that quickly. And they had the best support for that when it was happening too. They would hold like themed contests week to week and have people like post their stuff on the WarioWare showcase that was available for the Wii at the time. And then suddenly everything goes radio silent, just immediately like that. Sorry, I'm not used to talking into a microphone without being frightened to death of it. So
microphones could be scary.
So Nintendo was never, well, at least in the past, they didn't give off the appearance of being a big believer in online interactivity. Even as recently as like maybe 3 years ago.
I really do think that is starting to change, especially...
Finally?
Well,
it only took them 10 years to get there. Next
welcome.
up, Super Mario Maker is getting a website that's going to allow you to search for specific courses.
You know, when they came out with this game, Mario Maker, I got to say something. I've watched a lot of Let's Plays of Mario Maker. Have you seen many, you guys?
I played it.
You've played it?
Yes.
He
I'm
owns
sure
it.
you've built a few.
I've watched a few, but it was mainly him.
Yeah, I've watched a few myself, and this is a game. It's similar to Mario Party, where your friends could easily start hating you very quickly by playing levels you build. This game should have been called How to Murder Mario as many times as possible.
You know what? I think they knew that going in, and I think that Schadenfreude was pretty much a driving force behind getting the notoriety of this game out there by watching other people play your levels that you have specifically designed to be almost, Cloudberry Kingdom impossible.
It's probably Nintendo's way of saying, all right, you guys think you could do so well, let's see what you can do. And some people have done really great jobs. Mm-hmm. Some people have just become Hitler with their games.
Some people were like, this is gonna be art. This is gonna be my canvas.
Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival will be launching as a bundle with 2 different Animal Crossing amiibos. Obviously, there's going to be a ton of amiibo options available, but that is going to be the only way you can get I believe his name is Digby.
Good.
Diglett?
Fuck Digby.
Okay. Mario Tennis Ultra Smash is coming out November 20th, and they will be compatible with the Super Mario Bros. Amiibo. Nintendo eShop exclusives: Nintendo Badge Arcade, Pokemon P-Cross, SteamWorld Heist, Fast Racing Neo, and Typo Man, which is
freaking SteamWorld Heist. Typo Man.
Typo Man is apparently the game about me first thing in the morning when my coffee hasn't kicked in yet.
Taking a shit?
No.
Sorry, that's me.
It says no. This is about typing. Pokken Tournament or Pokken Tournament. I don't know how the hell you pronounce it. Is going to be out spring 2016 on the Wii U. Star Fox Zero is super delayed and now will come out April 22nd of 2016.
Of course it is.
Super delayed. At least it is coming out on the current generation system. It's still slated for Wii U, right?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay, yeah, because I'd consider super delayed to be like, well, not Duke Nukem Forever. That deserves a category of its own,
That's we're not even trying anymore.
But if a thing was super delayed, I'd say it was like maybe Twilight Princess was slated for 2 systems because it was starting to outlast a generation that GameCube was part of. But anything else, I don't know. At least we're getting it for this console.
True. Mario Luigi Paper Jam comes out January 22nd.
Paper Jam.
Is that like the RPG?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
I heard that's really, really good.
They're spectacular games. Something called Final Fantasy Explorers is coming out to the 3DS in January.
Oh, okay.
It's going to include all the DLC released in Japan for free, so your guess is as good as mine. Fire Emblem Fates has 3 different versions. Birthright, Conquest, and Revelation. To get the entire story, you need to buy all 3, which is a colossal penis move by Nintendo.
So, at what are games run now? $60, $70, depending on what the title.
If it's Fire Emblem, I'm pretty sure it's for DS. Although there has been a Wii U version, hasn't there?
Well, there have been Wii and not Wii U versions, but a Wii version as well.
So you're looking anywhere from $100 to $200 for all 3 games. So
wow.
Wait, they're pushing that out? All 3 of those out at retail?
Yes.
Like a typical retail tag?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you purchase one of the games, you will get a slight discount on the other one. So, there you go.
How much of a discount?
Who knows? It's probably like a $5 off coupon that ships with the game or something like that. We are getting the Mega Man Legacy Collection to the 3DS.
I hate you so much right now. Why did you have to...
Now, what is this pertain?
Was that lead-in absolutely necessary?
Yes, it was, because that's the reaction I wanted. Corey and I have been clamoring for a Mega Man Legends collection to come out, and yeah, it's not. We're never going to get it.
Cut my life into pieces, Jay. You don't know. You don't want to know what my last resort is.
There's going to be a new gold Mega Man amiibo, who looks like someone spray painted the Mega Man amiibo gold.
Which one's the gold? Is that that's not the blade? Which one's?
No, he's literally just spray painted gold, dude. He's
like the Silver Mario.
Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
So it's a collector piece.
He looks like an Oscar.
Yeah, exactly. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow are coming to 3DS.
Wait, what? What's that?
Yeah, they're re-releasing Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow for the 3DS.
By the last ones. I only have so much patience for re-releases of games of that scope.
The only reason I could think of them doing this, it'd make it easier to trade previous Pokemon.
They are bringing in. They are doing full wireless trading support.
Okay, good. A few weeks ago, I tried playing my copy of Black and White, and I was like, "Oh wow, I got some great characters on here." I'm currently playing X and Y, so when I transfer, and it makes it really hard to do it if you only have one system. Sure. But they make it very easy if you have X and Y and the latest Omega Alpha version.
Yeah. In a colossal middle finger to the American audience, Mother 3 is coming out for the Japanese eShop.
You know, I'm not really surprised by that. They will not bring Mother Earthbound over here. They just won't do it.
Well, Earthbound's out for the
Wii U and the Virtual Console.
Is it the same game?
It's very much the same game,
okay.
Yeah. So, rendering all those theories about copyright entanglements and such completely bullshit, which, you knew from the get-go anyway.
The only thing I could say to that is Smash Bros. Started as a Japanese-only release, and then it got so popular they brought it over here.
They had a couple of Smash Brothers in which to feature those landmarks.
The very first Smash Bros. It was Japanese-only.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Huh. Well, here's the thing. I do believe that seeing the pattern of behavior exhibited by NOA when it comes to the whole Mother series drama that's taken place over the last 15 years or so, I remember just really clamoring for the damn thing to come out for the Game Boy. And I mean the Earthbound, one that was already translated. The localization was cemented. All they had to do was do whatever was necessary in order to bring over something like the remake of SMB2, our version of it. The remakes were big on the GBA. And a lot of us never really understood why Earthbound was brought over. And I think that NOA just got so mother effing sick of it that this culminated in an ages-long campaign of terror against Mother fans, where it eventually part of the strategy became to whet everybody's appetites and tease them along with hey, we've got this on VC now. And then eventually Earthbound Zero was released for Virtual Console. Oh, and it's friggin' translated too. They put forth the effort and the work necessary in order to make that palatable for American audiences and to release it. And I believe that the Mike Tyson uppercut in that whole move was to say, you know how you badly wanted Mother 3 to come out? You wanted it to come out, right? Because we could have totally put it out so long ago. Japan's getting it again, and you get dick.
So speaking of dick,
transition material.
There are two more announcements coming, and one is having to deal with a new character that'll be coming out for Super Smash Brothers. Okay. And it's Cloud from Final Fantasy VII.
Better move than the Wii trainer.
No. Disagree wholeheartedly.
Actually, you know what? You know of my severe distaste for Final Fantasy VII and everything related to Final Fantasy VII.
I understand that Cloud is a major popular character.
He's iconic. I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't like the character. Personally.
I could see him in there. I could see Sonic. I can see Snake in Smash Brothers before the freaking Wii trainer. A faceless avatar. That's just me.
I will tell you that the Wii trainer as a Nintendo entity would seem to be more well suited towards a trophy or a sticker or something. Well, they don't have stickers in this one. I forgot.
But as a character, I don't see it. I think Mr. Game & Watch has more personality than the Wii trainer.
Oh, she's not a character. She's a homunculus, or is a homunculus or golem. It's basically
both. Basically, she's a flesh golem. She's a homunculi. And then the last little bit of news with Super Smash Brothers is there's going to be a major Super Smash Brothers announcement, a special broadcast in December. So who knows what the hell that means?
Yeah. What? Wow, that's big.
Whatever happened to the news of Ryu being added to the roster?
Oh, he's already in.
What?
Yeah, he's in.
Ooh, huh? When did that happen?
Recently.
I mean, he's released. You can buy him as DLC.
I think it was DLC. Yeah.
Oh well.
Jay, did they say anything about the new console?
No, nothing about the NX or what the hell it's called.
Yeah, I've heard Nexus, NX. I think they might.
Google's probably gonna have something to say about Nexus.
No,
if it was
okay. It's gonna be named something else when it comes out. Remember the dolphin? Yeah. I think they're going to wait till E3 to announce or actually say, hey, this is coming out. The next console. And I've actually seen some what could be blueprints or, excuse me, patents Nintendo has filed. This next console could go back to card-based or cartridge-based.
Won't happen.
Are you sure?
I would stake money on it.
Because the reasoning I've been hearing is that you could store more memory onto these flash cards or whatever they want to call them than you can in a disc.
Then discs have been traditionally like slower loading as well. But
I think that depends more on the processor.
That'd be kind of strange because I mean the 3DS is card based, but it seems to have picked up the trend of loading screens also. And
yeah,
given
that is more of the hardware you're using.
I was just not able to.
Because when I got my new 3DS, boom, it powers up the second you hit that button.
So it can't choke it down quickly enough.
Yeah,
like you're at the all-night buffet at Slim Jim's Barbecue.
Enough about my life.
All right, so that's going to do it for the big bit of news. Let's hop into the topics now. Bob, what did you want to talk about today?
Oh, goodness. Let's talk about the Theme Park Wars 2015 edition.
Okay.
Is between Universal and Disney's Hollywood Studios, formerly Disney MGM Studios. Have either of you guys heard the theory of Michael Eisner ripped off the idea of a movie studio? Okay.
Of MGM from Universal?
Yeah, when he was working at Paramount, just for anybody who hasn't heard this rumor.
Thank you, because I have not.
Oh, okay. When he worked at, was the head of Paramount, this idea for Universal opening a very similar theme park that they had in California in Orlando. And the idea came across his desk, like, well, that's a pretty good idea. And like less than a year later, he ended up becoming the head of Disney. Mm-hmm. And when he found out Universal was actually going through with this, they rushed out Disney MGM Studios.
That would explain quite a few things.
Yeah, and they rushed it out so fast that when the park opened, there were 2 rides when it opened.
Great Movie Ride.
The Great Movie Ride and Catastrophe Canyon. That was it. Everything else was like a little show or an attraction of some kind.
Catastrophe Canyon.
Yep. Which is now closed, along with about half of Disney Hollywood Studios.
Didn't leave much of an impact. What was that?
What?
Was it like a stunt show?
That was their disaster ride.
Yeah. It was like their backlot tour. It goes through, like, there's the house from the Golden Girls, and here's the ship from Flight of the Navigator, and all kinds of other, like, weird stuff. And there's the plane Disney flew over Florida and ripped off all the farmers before they found out it was actually Disney. Universal's been going through, like, a steady rebuild with Islands of Adventure, and then they did Harry Potter, which the 3 of us have gone to, and I think we'd all agree, Harry Potter at Universal, 10 out of 10, correct?
I don't even like Harry Potter, and that's one of the more memorable parts of Islands right now. Simpsons is in the other park, so yeah.
Yep, they also have Simpsons, and down the line they're having Nintendo Land. Who is not up for that?
I'm up for it. I'm up for it in a hypothetical scenario. There's just not a universe that's perfect enough in order to allow something such as that to happen. So until I see a headline at stating this, it's staying within the cynic zone for me. I haven't seen anything more than hearsay about it.
Yeah, all we have so far is that they have said that they will be involved in Universal Parks. We don't actually know what it's going to be, as far as I know.
It probably, my best guess is it's going to be a separate island at Islands of Adventure, and you could go to...
I will live there.
Yeah, you go to a Yoshi restaurant, maybe.
I will eat Yoshi every day for the rest of my life.
If there aren't pipe slides... Like, if I can't hop in a pipe and go
Shut
underground...
the hell up. Oh, my God.
There is potential. I will say that. There's tons and tons and tons of potential for that. But Universal is planning on opening an attraction, at least one attraction, over the next 5 years. And unfortunately, when the new stuff comes in, the old stuff has to go out.
Sure.
So, like we all... Jaws, that's gone, and Harry Potter Land is in there now.
Look, I loved Jaws, but...
I didn't.
That shit's an upgrade. That's
yes.
Amityville was cool. Jaws was friggin' not.
Jaws broke down so many times that I think in its first year, I would love to look this up some point. It broke down so many times that they just finally closed the ride, rebuilt it from scratch, and then there was what people remember as Jaws.
I think Jaws the Ride.
American way.
I think Jaws the Ride was for the family vacationing from like Wyoming that was wanting to live out 2 movies at once. Perhaps Jaws and most likely The End of Vacation.
Speaking of which, Jaws the Ride. You remember what movie used Jaws the Ride as a focal point in its plot?
Mallrats?
It was Mallrats. Thank you.
Oh yeah, because they got married on the.
Yeah, they got married on Jaws.
No, that was the stunt. That was actually the stunt portion of Amityville too, because they would have people from the audience hop onto the boat and then they'd drench them, and then the people would get off the boat and ask why they volunteered that, probably internally. But I remember doing that because didn't we do that at one point? Or that could have been the stage.
That was the backstage tour at MGM.
Okay, all right.
The thing you don't remember. You and I have done that.
All right. Well, I remember at least in part.
Well, Jaws is out. Harry Potter's in. Back to the Future, it's out. Simpsons is in. The newest thing to go out is Twister.
Yeah, whatever.
Twister, you know what? I enjoyed Twister. It was really simple, but I thought it was effective for what they had. It's like they created this little Twister tornado right in front of you. It's like, okay. Yeah. The rest of the ride, I can see how some people think this is really bad. This is cheesy. It's corny.
Are there any like numbers? Let me see. What's the word I'm looking for here? Not parenthetical or otherwise, but basically unofficial data about the attendance of that ride going up in the summertime?
I don't think they would keep track of those because in the summertime, obviously, that's when their numbers go up across the entire park. And I'm guessing, like, well, I can't get on Shrek because that's like an hour-long wait. Oh, there's Twister. I'll go and do that.
I'm thinking per capita, like in comparison to like maybe numbers lowering just a little bit, especially in like during the midday periods, because people would want to get. It's hot out, and you know we've lived in Florida. We know how hot it can get. It's close to torture, and you can walk in there, like catch a nice breeze for about 5 to 10 minutes, or however long that attraction was. And then
I think it was a 20-minute attraction with the queue line videos and everything.
Oh, with the queue, yeah. The queue is probably like the funnest part of that. Now that I remember it.
Well, you guys are going to love this. What's replacing Twister?
Not Ghostbusters. I've already heard about
this. Not Ghostbusters, unfortunately.
And I have so many freaking questions as...
That is going away.
Well...
It's gone, actually.
It's... Yeah. That might have been a mercy killing, to be honest with you.
What's replacing Twister is Jimmy Fallon's Race Through New York.
And, you know, with the Ghostbusters movie on the horizon, probably releasing sometime in the next year, it's a timely eye roll. We're not putting that back in there.
No, we're not.
They've already got the facade constructed and everything.
Well, Jimmy Fallon's Race Through New York. How is this a concept for a ride? But I came across a pitch that someone had done. I don't know if it's true, but it's worth repeating what I hear here.
Is he trying to catch a cab?
No.
No. Okay.
That is probably what the actual ride is. This pitch I heard, what they want to do is take the Twister attraction, and you know how it says Twister on the marquee outside the entrance. They want to cover that with a bed sheet and spray paint like in perfect Clerks fashion, we are now open, but instead it would say Jimmy Fallon, and it would look really bad, but you could tell by the shape of the bed sheet that it was still Twister. You would go inside the queue. The queue would remain exactly the same as it would be for Twister. Well, as you're going through the queue, there's at one part a video section where they're in separate video screens. Like, hi, I'm Bill Paxton. I'm dead on the inside. And Helen Hunt's there. And they were going to have a third video with Jimmy Fallon popping. I was like, hey, and I'm taking over this ride.
Huh.
That's a terrible idea.
Well, like I said, this is a failed pitch. And one of the things they would try and do is Jimmy Fallon, while taping The Tonight Show, would tune in and look at the queue line of people in line and yell at them. It's like, hey, what are you doing? This is my ride.
A whole lot of this sounds like perhaps a William and Mary social experiment, funded perhaps in part by NBC, Universal Television.
We should take bets to see how long this thing lasts, because it sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. And hey, disaster, that's close too.
I never got to go on that too, and I heard that stuff was like hilarious. Well, at least most of the video bits of it. I know the rest of it was pretty much like, well, what the ride was when it was hosted by Charlton Heston, but without the stage participate or the audience participation bits. But they had the rock and the walk-in, and apparently they worked in the rundown. And I can attest to that. Yeah, the rundown's freaking excellent. I don't care who you ask. And hey, who wouldn't want to recapture just a little bit more of that magic? Put it in an attraction at Universal Studios, the #1 vacation destination in Florida for families that couldn't get Disney tickets.
Ride the movies, even the movies that don't exist.
Well, that's going out, and we don't really know what's going in there yet.
No,
by the way.
Disaster and the Beetlejuice show. That's going out, and it's going to get replaced by a Faster Furious stunt show.
See, the funny thing is that on a lot of these things that you're telling me right now, I'm having to throttle my opinions just so I don't blanket the entire affair with too much negativity. Because
I mean, on one hand, they have some really, really cool stuff coming in, like Nintendo Land and King Kong and Skull Island. Oh my God, the potential with that!
Right,
because they can expand that and make a Kaiju Island, especially since they have a partnership with Toho Studios. They could put it in a King Kong or a Godzilla attraction.
Speaking music right now, but wait, do they have a partnership with Toho?
I think it's some kind of marketing because sometime soon there's going to be another King Kong versus Godzilla movie.
Yeah,
so why not?
There are enough little big nerds in Hollywood now in order to facilitate that. But as far as we know about Monster Island, since this is on the table, and we're not too eager to shove it off because, like you said, the possibilities. It's only going to be one ride thus far, right?
As of right now, yes.
It's a reiteration, strangely enough, of King Kong, which would be a ride that they had canceled from the original park.
Well, I don't know anything about the new King Kong ride. I seriously doubt you're going to be going through the skyways of New York.
Would it be safe to assume that it's not going to be a reconstitution of hanging out in a trolley car, listening to a tour guide blindly recite the lines? And
I did see some concept art of it's basically a large Jeep that can hold, I think it's somewhere around 20 people, and it's going through a jungle wilderness terrain, and I'm guessing King Kong pops out at some places.
Jay, what does that sound like?
It sounds like dinosaur.
Disney has done something. Oh, this is a dinosaur thing.
Yeah,
exactly what it sounds like.
Except for instead of being in a large dark room, I believe a lot of this is going to happen outdoors.
This is out in the
similar
open.
to in the safari.
All right, tit for tat, I suppose.
That's clever.
But yeah, with the possibility of oh, sorry, go ahead.
That's clever. They're fucked.
But if we were oh, what? Yeah, what happens to the safari if there's not a very favorable conditions outside?
You mean at Animal Kingdom? I think they say roll with it, go with it. If it's bad weather, you're going to get bad weather.
So you're out in the open and getting rained on?
No, you're inside a covered Jeep. It has a canopy, and I think that canopy extends over a bit. So it's got to be sideriously bad, sideways, rain blowing weather.
Yeah, that can't be too amusing.
You're not doing. It's not a mechanical ride. You're in a truck. This isn't something where you have to worry about animatronics or effects or anything like that. You're going through, and it's oh look, a fucking gazelle, hooray! It's not.
And they're still autonomously piloted. So if your pilot's not really on the game, then it's going to be zeros.
Well, no. I mean, it's driven. It's driven by a guy. It's totally...
Okay. Well, is it automated? Is your transport automated? Is what I'm saying.
No.
You talk about the safari?
The safari thing. Yeah.
No, it's completely 100% man controlled. There are certain signals that the driver is given both through his earpiece and on the road of when to proceed, when to stop, and obviously if there's an animal in the road, he's supposed to stop and not plow right through it, which has happened. Well, actually, like an ostrich or something walked on the road, driver didn't see it, boom, 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 boom.
Well, strange meat burgers for everyone.
Enjoy
I guess
your vacation, kids.
Yeah, you guys are getting your money's worth today.
You're never going to see roadkill like this. That's so Floridian too.
Yeah. Is basically rebooting the entire Hollywood studios. That's probably the best way, because half of the entire park is going to be a construction zone, which I have some great ideas. You could sell construction hats and the little Disney pins. You could sell hey, I went to Hollywood Studios and showed Chip and Dale wearing construction gear. I think that would make a great idea, a great marketing.
It's going to be like the whole thing's going to be set zone.
Yeah, there's going to be. They're not doing Star Wars weekends next year because of all the construction that's going to start in January.
Yeah,
They're not touching Twilight Zone, are they?
No. Twilight Zone is staying put.
Okay.
But they're actually, from what I've heard, they're rearranging the entire park, including moving the entrance to the park to somewhere else. Disney has filed some plans with the city or state where they want to put in some new roads and everything, and the new Star Wars land that they're building. They want that to be like the focal point, the first thing you see as you're driving around. By the way, some people took a layout of this roadmap and they put it on top of a current like Google map of Disney Hollywood Studios, and you know where this road pretty much runs? Right across the back bleacher section for the Cars, Lights, and Action stunt show. So Disney has not said that's going away, but if they're having road work going right across the attraction...
It was where they used to have Indiana Jones, right?
No, Indiana Jones is still there.
Oh, right. Okay.
This is all the way in the back corner of the park, close to where the backstage tour used to be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Muppets, that's another thing.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
The little playground.
If it's even still there.
That is still there. That might go away. But the funny thing, the construction site, the borderline goes right up to the Muppet 3D ride. And a lot of people are speculating that the current show on ABC, The Muppets, that's going to dictate if it comes or goes, if it stays.
Can you imagine them turning that into like a live production of the talk show that the series revolves around?
That'd be amazing.
That might be, well, I'm not going to say impossible.
It's a concept just waiting to get plucked off the tree, man.
Yeah. This is obviously the last year of the Osborne Light Festival, so I plan on going to that at some point.
The Osbornes got to retire at some point, yeah.
But another idea that Disney, it's not an idea, it's actually in the pre-development stages. It's Avatar Land at Animal Kingdom.
I have heard about this.
Where they're going to do like floating islands. I don't know what they're going with, how they're going to make this work.
They just inject you with acid and throw you into a ball pit. That's what they do.
If that works, sure. 140 foot tall floating mountain. That's well beyond my imagination.
I can't wait to see how they pull that off, because I mean, I could give less a shit about the Avatar movie, but I'm interested to see what happens there. Like
that's a bit of an odd pick for an IP to capitalize on, because the movie came out roughly 6 years ago, right?
Yeah,
really.
There's sequels in the works though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh.
So do you know when the sequel's coming out? Because I don't remember.
I think it's 2017.
So that would be along the lines of when they plan on having this part of the park open.
Exactly.
I can't imagine seeing Mickey like riding one of those dragon things. Where do I plug in?
Hey, are you two gonna ponytail blink right in front of the children?
Is there anything? Is there any news about Epcot, Bob?
Epcot, the only thing that I've heard as of late is...
it's still open.
Yeah, well, there are some parts of Epcot that really need to go. Ellen's Energy Adventure has got to go.
Look, I like Epcot. But it reminded me of Krusty Land. Not Krusty Land.
From the TV episode.
Not real life Krusty Land. That's kind of attractive and, it's doing pretty well for Universal at the moment. And hey, Universal, be glad that Matt Groening exists, okay?
Yeah.
But, the Krusty Land from The Simpsons, the one that was kind of...
Yeah, where they go to the Krusty Land theme park.
Yeah, it's basically at the bottom of the ledger in terms of, like, not upkeep. They're upkeeping it... Well, they're upkeeping it okay. I like Epcot. I just liked it a lot more when they were pushing it, back in the day.
Yeah, Norway is getting basically redone into Frozen Land.
See, that makes sense.
Well... It's going to stick out like a sore thumb, in my opinion, because all these other countries are funded by that particular country's tourism board. They send over the employees. They send over what to do. When Disney approached them, it's like, hey, we want to redo some stuff in Norway. They said, we're not paying for this. We're not. And then Disney's like, all right, Frozen.
And it just happens to be something that they can build a brand off. Their most recent major cinema presence.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are going to see
their
this
cash
cheap.
cow.
Yeah, but they are still selling. They're still selling dolls from the franchise, and it is a franchise now. I'm going to go ahead and say, it's in order to get people to be spinning those turnstiles. I think, other than the Food and Wine Festival,
I actually enjoy Flower and Garden. That's actually kind of fun.
I would go insane. I would just walk in there in a mask of snot.
I do not like the Flower and Garden Festival. That is not my thing. It's
my allergies wouldn't, even if I found something to look at, and it's probably very colorful. You'd have to be the confirmation on that. I would walk out of there with just red faced and just Niagara snots and not being appealing for anybody. No, by the way, Niagara Snots would be my professional pool player name.
Is that a garage name?
all right.
And on that note,
All right. On that note, we are going to jump into the question portion of this. And Bob, this is really the nerd or not section, right?
Yes, nerd or not. So this is the heart.
So the idea behind this part of it is that we each pick some categories, and there is a question that is pretty basic knowledge of the subject that we have chosen, and then there is the one that is not so basic.
So if you're a major nerd and being a nerd, obviously, is not in 2015 is not a derogatory term.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Far from it. It's a bankable term.
Yeah. There's not comic book nerds, and there's not sci-fi nerds. There's sports nerds. There's car nerds. There's all kinds of different people who could be like an expert at something or think they care a lot about and they know a lot of that particular topic. Sure. So being a nerd does not mean you're wearing glasses and a pocket protector and you get beaten up at school.
Synonymous with passionate interests, more or less. It's just that, I don't know how we would go about like classifying or categorizing like traditional nerdery, or if that's even still.
Well, you basically throw that out the window these days.
It's the subculture is way more granular than it used to be, which is great,
right?
Because there's a whole lot less ostracization now,
right? So if something would fall under a nerd question, it would be like a really high difficult question. Not everybody would know, only if you were like really into that particular subject.
Mm-hmm.
And a not nerd is something almost everybody in the general public would know.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Cool. All right. So, what are the categories we have picked?
Well, one of us has to. We have to decide who's going to go first. We listen to the categories from the other two, then we pick that category, hear the question, and the first person to get 3 questions right is declared the winner.
And what do we win?
The title of Nerd Supreme.
All right. Do we get at least mutual respect?
No.
No?
That costs too much.
For those curious, a Nerd Supreme is just a regular nerd with tomatoes and sour cream.
Ugh. No. Okay, I don't want to win this. I'm going to
Why don't you go first?
Okay. So, Jay,
Yep.
Tell me your nerd and not nerd categories.
Well, I have sports mascots, pro wrestling, and comic books.
Ooh, okay. I am going to pick. Did you say sports mascots?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep, I'll do that one.
Nerd or not?
I'm pretty good with sports mascots, so I'm gonna go for it and say nerd.
Okay. Which of these mascot changes for the NHL is true?
Oh boy.
The New York Americans to the New York Rangers, the Montreal Maroons to the Montreal Canadiens, the Toronto St. Patricks to the Toronto Maple Leafs, or the Kansas City Scouts to the New Jersey Devils.
Good God.
Oh, Christ, I actually know this one.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I will... How many teams did you list? 4, 5 teams there?
4 teams.
4 teams. And are all 4 of them original 6 squads?
No. 3 of them are original 6. One of them is not.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to say, because this I actually don't know, so I'm going to have to totally guess. I'm going to say the Devils.
That is close, but not correct.
Well, that counts as not correct then.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Is that allowed?
You know what?
Go ahead.
That would be your choice for a question. If I get if I get it wrong, you can try.
All right, so it's like a pickup. Okay, cool. All right, I'm gonna try to catch the point then. Would it be? Was it New York? What was the Rangers? What was their previous team name? The Metropolitans.
The Americans.
The Americans. No, the Mets is something else. I'm gonna guess the Americans to the Rangers.
That is incorrect.
Well, you know what?
What was it?
It's actually the Toronto St. Patrick's to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Kansas City Scouts to New Jersey Devils was very close. But the Kansas City Scouts actually became the Colorado Rockies before they became the New Jersey Devils.
That's kind of a trick question, but I see what you're going with. Okay.
Nerd or not, bitch?
Nerd or not, and that I am not a nerd. You would be our group hockey nerd.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Corey. I guess you go for now. Okay. You've heard what Jay's categories are.
Okay.
Do you want to hear what mine are?
Oh, you haven't let's, for the sake of clemency, get them out there.
I have, let's see. I have Disney's Peter Pan, Nintendo, Alien. Those are my nerd questions.
Okay.
My not nerd questions are, again, Disney's Peter Pan and NFL in the Golden State.
And not football. We're going to go with Nintendo.
Okay, that's a nerd question.
That's a nerd question.
All right. What does Nintendo translate into English?
No. I know this, but my beverage is prohibiting ready access to this information. Shit. Heaven, something, heaven.
You're about halfway there. It is a full sentence almost.
Path to heaven.
Ooh. Jay, I'm going to say the answer. You tell me if he's close enough. Nintendo translated into English is leave luck to heaven.
I'll leave it to you.
I'm gonna say yeah. That's a point. That's closer than we would have gotten.
That is a point.
Yeah, it's closer than I would have gotten. All right, Corey, what are your categories?
What are my categories? Starting on the nerd side, Deadpool.
Okay.
So the movie's coming out soon. We got Fallout, and I know you've been playing Fallout, so this might not be too difficult. And then we've got Back to the Future. On the not nerd, we've got Cars. This is kind of an iffy one because it was a nerd question kind of also. So, well, we'll get there. And Spy Culture.
Oh, Spy Culture.
The Spy Culture? Okay. So, the difference between a Gibson and a Martini is what?
Son of a bitch.
I remember all the times I've ranted about a Gibson and how much of a friggin' fraud it is. Okay.
Jay, if it makes you feel any better, I wouldn't know this. And I've had 4 drinks today.
Is a Gibson made with, like, dry vermouth or something?
Well, both drinks could be made with sweet or dry vermouth.
I have no idea, then.
I'll give you a hint. If you order any type of a martini, outside of, like, what type of vermouth you use, if you order it a dirty martini, what does that mean?
That means it's got olive juice in it.
All up in it. Okay. So.
Which is bullshit and a terrible, terrible mistake.
Well, basically, if the garnish is what makes that type of a martini or typifies that type of a martini as a dirty one, then what would be the difference between that, which, you know, various variations of it could be dictated by the garnish. What would be the difference between any type of a martini versus a Gibson?
A Gibson has no garnish at all?
No, it uses those bastard pearl onions.
Whoever thought put onions in a drink?
The same fucker who thought olives was a good idea.
It was a boxer, if that explains anything to you.
Punch drunk.
Somebody wanted to get him a martini, and as the story goes, he was one of those rugged individualists that was like, no, I don't want a martini, or I don't want the drink that you're suggesting that I have. I want a drink that I'm suggesting that I have. So he got a martini and told the bartender to put olives in it because that was his thing.
Oh, he's a dick.
That was basically me getting a pretzel and a Slurpee at the movies. Except I'm actually doing something different, and he's not. He's just lying to himself. Because that's what a Gibson is. It is a lie. Anyway, that's that.
All right, back to Bob.
Okay. Let me see. Corey, what are your other selections?
Okay.
Tell me again. That little story about the boxer and the drink, I blew out the rest out of my memory.
We've got Cars. That's not nerd side.
Okay.
We've got Cars. And on the nerd side, we've got Deadpool, Fallout, Back to the Future.
I'm going to do Deadpool.
You're going to do Deadpool.
A nerd question. Jay and Corey are the comic book guys. I do read Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't read everything that comes on the shelves.
Let's see how you do here.
All right.
Deadpool's first appearance was in what team book?
Let me see.
I can steal this one.
No multiple choice questions?
I know.
No multiple choice to pick from?
What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, no. Multiple choice works.
Multiple choice? All right, we're going to say X-Force, Alpha Flight, New Mutants. Which one?
Ooh. Now, I'm going to ask a question here. Alpha Flight was the Canadian superhero team?
100% Canuck.
I'm going to go with that, since he got all of his abilities while he was in that facility in Canada.
And you're right that Alpha Flight does tie in closely with that and Wolverine's mythology, but it was not Alpha Flight.
It was not Alpha Flight.
No, because they would have kicked him out.
Can I steal?
You can steal this.
New Mutants.
New Mutants, yep.
Okay.
Now, which one was it? It was not 100. It was right up before 100 happened and then they became X-Force. It was like 89 or something, right?
Well, 92 was the first appearance of Cable.
Okay.
And
Cable.
I think Deadpool was like 96 or 97.
96 or 97.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a really good question.
Yes.
Thanks.
Was a good question. All right, Bob. What are your nerd categories?
Let me see. Let's see. I did. What did I ask? Oh, I did Nintendo. Nerd categories are Disney's Peter Pan and Alien.
I know nothing about Alien, so let's give Peter Pan a shot.
Okay. This is obviously the animated 1953 Disney edition. Little scene set here, so listen carefully. Name the pirate Captain Hook throws into the water after he questions why there is no splash when Wendy walked the plank.
Tiny Dick Magoo. I have no idea.
Now, I will say this character does have a name, and it was said immediately after that line.
I haven't got a clue. No idea.
Do you have any idea what it could be, Corey?
The guy you're asking that question for was not me, so no.
Okay. That one was super hard. That was probably my hardest question. And the pirate's name is Mr. Starkey.
Mr. Starkey?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Corey, it is your turn.
All right.
So far, our score is Corey a point, Jay a point.
Let's pick something from Jay.
Comics, pro wrestling, or sports mascots?
Wait, didn't we do mascots? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's right.
I've got 3 questions for each category, so.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. All right, you know what? Plot twist. Sports mascots.
Nerd or not?
Well, the sports mascots, we did the nerd.
Oh, okay, yeah, so you're going to get a not then.
I'm going to get a not?
Yep.
All right.
Which I think that's good for Corey.
Okay. Which of these is a real AA baseball team? The Salt Lake City Seagulls, the Reno Syphilis,
What?
the Oklahoma City Errors, or the New Orleans Zephyrs?
I know which one he's going to pick. I don't know what the answer is, but I know what he's picking.
So I have a 50% success rate with this at least. All right, the last one was the Zephyr.
The Zephyrs?
The Zephyr.
The Zephyrs, the Errors, the Syphilis, or the Seagulls?
Okay, so the Zephyrs or the Seagulls. I'm going to go with the Zephyr.
You are correct.
All right.
Wow.
I know. The Syphilis was just sitting out there to be brought up once again, but I don't know. I'm playing.
I don't care
if
it would cost me the game. I'd pick that just for the name.
And what town was the Syphilis?
Reno, Nevada.
Reno. Well, I guess it's appropriate.
Yeah. Your turn.
My turn. Let me see. What are your other 2 categories again?
Pro wrestling and comic books.
Pro wrestling, comic books. I'm going to do the nerd. No. I need to get some points on the board. I'm going to do the not nerd pro wrestling.
Okay. Not nerd pro wrestling is kind of easy. I'm going to be honest with you.
I need the points. I'm behind.
Basically, what I need you to do is, in the next 30 seconds, name 20 finishing moves, and I will tell you when to start.
Holy hell.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right, we'll do 15.
Okay.
That sounds more fair.
15 in 30 seconds?
Yep.
Do you need a timer, or you keeping track of that over there?
I got a stopwatch over here. So.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, there's a couple I don't know if they qualify as finishers.
I'm going to be generous on this one.
Signature moves and finishers?
Yeah, signatures and finishers. How's that?
Okay.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
The F-bomb, the 5-star frog splash, the choke slam, the pedigree, the mandible claw, the Stone Cold Steve stunner, the rock bottom, the crippler crossface, the scorpion deathlock. I hope you're keeping track of how many I've said so far. Okay. The ankle lock.
That is time, sir.
Dang it.
How many did you get?
Under pressure.
How many?
You got to 10.
I got the 10.
You got to 10.
Dang.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a point on that one. That one was tough.
No, I don't need your pity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Can I ask if a Mofak can steal one?
No,
not a question.
Not on
like
this
that.
one?
Not
Okay.
on that.
All right. That's fair enough, because I already came up with 15, and I already had them ready to go.
Damn.
So, never mind.
I needed that.
Well, because I wasn't on the spot. And that's one of those questions whose challenge comes from.
I was trying to
Being put to the task, you know?
I had WWF No Mercy in my head. I was just going through the roster.
That's a pretty good strategy.
Well, you know what happened was, as I was thinking of it, I kept thinking of wrestlers I created.
Oh.
It's like, no, wait, no, okay, no.
They're not real.
They're not real. They're
They
in your
don't exist. You think they're real. They feel real because they're a part of you, but they never existed.
mind. Who's up? Yes, it is. It's your turn, Jay.
I'm gonna take football in the Golden State.
Okay. How many teams?
Can you do this while I pee?
Yeah, go. Okay. Yeah, did you catch that, Jay?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
I
go
did.
pee.
Yeah. Leave it. I'm leaving that in.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So while you and I are doing this questionnaire, for Jay, how many teams ever in the NFL called California home? Now, be precise here, during the Super Bowl era.
Oh Jesus. Okay. So you've got San Diego Chargers, L.A. Raiders, San Francisco 49ers, L.A. Rams. I think that's it.
That is correct.
Holy crap. Well,
Yep, the LA Raiders, who started in Oakland, went to LA, then back to Oakland, and they probably will go back to LA.
yeah.
The 49ers, who were always in San Francisco. The San Diego Chargers, who were also at one point in LA.
And are probably
And yes, the LA Rams. They probably will go back. That's a weird situation. I'm going to be curious to see how that ends up.
Yeah.
But you got another point.
Excellent. Excellent.
So we are tied, Corey and Jay, at 2.
Is there a tie game? Will this one stand?
Yeah, we're tied.
All right. Okay. So it would be my turn to pick one.
It is.
Let's see here. I picked from Jay last time, right?
Yep.
All right. What do you got, Bob?
I've got one question left, and that's
question?
Alien.
Okay, I know enough about Alien.
What is the full name of the character played by Sigourney Weaver? Full name.
Like middle initial, even?
You know what? If you can get the initial, I'll give it to you, but I need the first.
And the last name, it's Ellen Ripley. Ellen J. Ripley, actually.
Jay, I'll defer to you if...
Damn.
But it's Ellen L, as in Louise Ripley.
I'm
going to say he doesn't get the point because...
yeah, that was way off.
Because we're tied.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I see. The fix is in, is it?
Yes.
You'll get yours, Jay.
All right, Bob, it is your turn to pick.
Oh, goodness. Let me see here. Corey, what are your categories remaining?
Remaining. We already killed the spy one. Let me see. We got cars.
Uh-huh. Is that a nerd or not nerd?
We're going to do 2 of those.
Okay.
All right. Nerd or not nerd for the cars.
Gotcha.
Let's. There's also Deadpool, and I did actually make a nerd counterpart to Deadpool. The not nerd one was the first issue.
Oh, my Deadpool question was a not nerd question?
That was a not nerd.
Okay.
I'm kind of sorry about that, but I didn't realize that we had to like come up with different questions for each.
You don't. It's a free-flowing game, but
okay.
We'll probably figure out better how to play it later. But right now, we're working with what we got.
Okay.
I am going to do the not nerd car.
The not nerd car. All right.
Because I know next to nothing about cars.
Not nerd car. All righty. There was a movie that came out in the 90s. Jay's going to know this automatically. But Jay's not answering the question. You are.
Uh-huh.
All right. Tucker, A Man in His Dream.
I love that movie.
I know, it's so good. It's the best. That was one of Joe Johnston's first ones, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I think so. I don't remember. Okay, sorry. There's stuff going on.
Ask me if I've seen that movie.
All right. Have you seen that movie?
No!
Well, you might know the car. Maybe. Probably not. All right, Jay, I think I'm going to have to help him along with this one.
Just ask your question.
What was the defining feature of the Tucker automobile?
That's a good one. All right, thank you.
It had a bulldog hood ornament.
But that would have been great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mack trucks have bulldog hood ornaments.
That's true.
And they're fitting. Hold on.
Did this particular vehicle have a bulldog on the hood ornament?
It did not.
Then it doesn't count.
All
or
right.
do I don't get the point?
You don't get the point? Can I give him at least another shot? Maybe push him on, nudge him along a little bit.
Yeah, let's give.
All right.
It has to do with the headlights.
Because it's effing brilliant. Now think about you designing your own car and difficulties in probably night driving.
My car would look like the Homer.
You know what? The Homer didn't get a fair shake. I'm a firm believer in that automobile design. But anyway, say you're taking a hairpin turn at night, the headlights are on. However, the headlights are not trained upon a spot that you would rather than be trained on. How would you fix that problem?
Laser scope? I'm drawing absolutely blanks.
I will do better on questions next time.
So the neat thing about the Tucker automobile was the headlights pointed in the direction you were turning the wheel.
Well, there was 2 static headlights in the fenders, and there was a central headlight in the hood, which, besides presenting pretty obvious, safety hazards to begin with, was still really friggin' innovative. It pointed the direction, or it was trained along with where the steering wheel was trained as well.
My Twitter account is at 8-second delay, the number 8 and second delay. If you're a car nerd and you are just ripping your hair out, screaming at your audio device right now, just send me a little message saying, "Fuck you, Bob." Just let it out that way, because I know there's somebody out there just screaming at the top of their lungs. It turns, you asshole! It turns.
It might have been. I don't think it's that common knowledge.
I have never heard of it,
especially among anybody who's like younger than us. It's the movie itself was obscure enough, but it was an obscure movie made about an obscure innovator that whose drama pretty much revolved around an obscure car. I mean, the reason that the movie was made about him was because the car was a massive friggin' failure. Mm-hmm. That's where the drama came from. Nobody knows who Tucker is. Or the torpedo.
Fuck Tucker.
Tucker sucks. All right, so
on to me. All right, let's do Nerd Deadpool.
Nerd Deadpool.
This is for the win.
God, you're gonna know this right away. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna top this one. Actually, how would you feel about doubling down?
What do you mean?
You're in for doubling down?
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, what?
He gets the point if he can answer 2 questions in a row.
Yeah,
this is Deadpool.
That's fine.
All right.
If that's the way you two want to do it, sure.
All right. Yeah.
Fast and loose.
Shit's getting serious right now. Okay, first question. Who wrote the second major arc in Deadpool's solo series?
Christopher Priest.
Christopher frickin' Priest. Now, the third story... Wait, No, the third was technically Cruel Summer. I'm going to move past that, and you already know who wrote that one. Who was the co-writer, along with the writer of Cruel Summer, for the 1, 2, 3, 4th narrative arc in Deadpool solo series?
You bastard.
Think favoritism in comics at its worst.
Oh, well, if that's, I'm going to think Devin Grayson.
Oh, she did some good stuff. It's just that most of it wasn't called Nightwing.
Sure. I don't know the answer to that. Buddy Scalera.
Yeah. You got it.
What?
That was it. That was Buddy friggin' Scalera. Because he worked at Wizard, and everyone wanted to be friggin' pals with Wizard so they could get, nice press.
Wow.
So Buddy Scalera was allowed to write Deadpool along with Jimmy Palmiotti.
All right, then.
And here's the shocker about it. It actually wasn't that bad.
All right, then.
Like, I've read worse Deadpools since then. But there you go. You got it. You doubled down and you made the point. Good job. On a Hail Mary, no less.
Yeah. Our first winner of Nerd or Not.
Cool. All right. I think that is it for the questions. Let's leave everybody with one thing you are digging this week. Bob, what has got you excited this week?
Something I've got to recommend. I've been into it for quite a while now. It's a YouTube channel called... That was supposed to be between the two of us, but...
Look, man, you go to the coast, you pick up some habits. It's just to be expected.
Just roll with it.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel called the Game Theorists, or Game Theory. I'm sure a lot of people are saying, "Oh yeah, I watched that show." There's a secondary channel called the Film Theorist. This is, without a doubt, the smartest show about gaming out there. It's really entertaining. It's really informative, and if you watch it, you'll see the guy who makes the show, Matt Pat, puts a lot of science into his theories. Cool. And it's very entertaining.
Yeah, I got to back him up. He goes to like an Asperger's level of research on most of these topics, and some of this stuff is just, you did math for this?
Yeah. So that's my recommendation, the Game Theory channel.
How about you, Corey?
All right, I'm trying to not tweet about this like way too much, because the fact that it came with an instruction booklet is already blowing my mind. Even though it's a game that I've been wanting to play for a while, but I kind of put it on the back burner for one reason or another. And then a couple of months ago, it was announced that the original game had done well enough in order to facilitate a shelf release. And being that like the retro stylings of the game are kind of like core to the appeal of this thing, I knew that they were going to do it upright. There's a 3DS version of Shovel Knight out, yes. At a base level, I can just say, hey, this exists. But the way that they're doing it, because almost everything about the game was informed by the glory days of the NES. And anybody who's ever like had to mess with a busted console and convince themselves that they can magically bring it back to life just by shooting some moisture and oxygen into the into the connector slot, well, no, all of the beats, graphical, gameplay, or otherwise, that this thing offers, and they went far beyond what the game could offer in terms of like nostalgic value, or even just like solid old style game design values. And they created a friggin' instruction booklet just to go in the package at a time when like there are no 3DS games and very few other console games that are doing instruction booklets.
So your recommendation is the instruction booklet?
The instruction booklet, yes.
Not the game.
It comes with a game.
Okay.
From what I hear, the game's pretty damn good.
The booklet is awesome. The game is okay.
Yeah, the game. Yeah, and that's what I'm grooving on right now, just because of the details and the culture that they imbued in this idea. But yeah.
For me, the thing I'm really excited about this week is hello, MST3K is coming back.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
And it all happened.
Is so integral in my comedy and who I am that
a lot of the three of us.
I'm so happy to give them money. Like, here, just take it. Please make more. It
didn't take even an hour for the robot tier to get fulfilled.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
Yeah,
$10,000. Somebody dropped $10,000 to get a copy of either a Crow T Robot or Tom Servo.
If I had it, I would do it.
Yeah.
I had to make a decision earlier this week. Do I want to put $20 in my gas tank, or do I want to put $20 towards MST3K? I can walk to work. if it came down to it. Okay.
It would be money well spent either way. I don't know. It's a lot of that is in our conversational DNA as well, and there was probably because it was like a way of life for a long time.
We recite the movie so many times
in front of people who have never seen the movie and are like, including that one line we can't really say in front of anybody who's never seen the film.
Whoop-de shit.
That.
What's this and the rest crap?
And like decorum won't deter
I'm not
us
an alien.
whatsoever.
What are you boys doing in there?
Nothing?
Are you cooking in there?
No.
Are you making it in a roster?
No.
Alright guys, that is going to do it for episode 1 of Nerd or Not. We hope you
Woo!
it will hopefully be more organized next time, but hey, if it's not, I don't know.
Listen to our chaos.
Yes. Again, don't know when the next one's going to drop. I'm thinking probably a week or